Hey, what's up? And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite So Bad It's Good movies, Dark Measures. Or maybe it's called The Revenge, or Dark Measures Gang Warfare. Oh wait, no, I think that's another movie. Oh no, it's the same movie, just a really misleading poster. Also, if for some reason you want to buy this movie, don't buy this version for $20. Instead, get this movie pack for $15. Or just rent it on Amazon Prime for $2. Actually, just rent it on Amazon Prime and then use OBS to record it and then put the files on. Hey, what's up? It's Pimp Turkey here, and I would like to say that you should support the film industry by purchasing all of your movies, and also you should go to your local movie theater and buy a ticket for a movie and a big old bucket of popcorn. Also, you should remember to buy candy at the movie theater and not to bring your own in. Also, if you're gonna be beating it during the movie, you should sit in the back row so you don't get arrested like Pee Wee Herman. Anyway, because I'm going to be thoroughly examining every scene in this movie, and there's barely anything about this movie online, I'm going to try and upload this video without my watermark, so you'll be able to soak it all in. I also want to make it clear that even though I'm about to tear this movie apart, it all comes from a place of love. The soundtrack to this movie is genuinely good, and Mark Johnson deserves his flowers for that. But Mark was also one of the editors, and while it's impossible to tell which edits were Mark's and which were Zach's, going off of their YouTube channels, I would guess that Zach was the main editor. And boy oh boy are there some editing choices in this movie. Zach was also a cameraman, and they really could have used a tripod for this movie. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. Let's watch one of Zach's videos. Okay, to be fair, that's an old video, so let's check out one of his more recent ones. Alright, so we're just gonna keep going and leave Zach to his own devices. The director of this movie has directed exactly 4 movies, and one of them is Curse on Blanchard Hill, which I haven't watched yet, but came with the $15 movie bundle. So if you'd want to see a follow-up video going over that, just let me know in the comments. You know, for the past 20 minutes, I've been trying to think of a way to ease you in and get you ready for what you're about to see, but I just don't think that's possible with this film, so let's just jump right in. We start this movie in the trunk of a car before seeing our group of bad guys for the movie setting a random woman on fire. So there aren't any pictures of the actors on the IMDb page, and that makes it difficult to know who's who. So in this video, we're gonna play a little game. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Who the Fuck Was in This Movie Anyway? The game show where we figure out who the fuck was in this movie anyway. Right away we have Colleen as burning victim and Rose as woman with fire extinguisher, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Getting back to the movie, I will say that the practical effects look very nice. Alright, so everything good about this scene over with, let's start with the audio.
Stay still! Shut the fuck up! Don't move!
I mean, you can hear it for yourself. I'm not really sure I need to add anything. As woman with fire extinguisher comes to the rescue, we see the gang driving away in their Duesenberg, while woman with fire extinguisher tries her hardest to put out a fire with an empty fire extinguisher. Are you tired of this happening to you? We're then introduced to the framing device for this movie, which, much like Majora's Mask, works on days. We start off day one with Erin Elliott, who plays Christina. You know she's important because she got an actual name. We see Christina getting into what I can only assume is her actual car and driving away before we get hit with a voiceover from Michelle L. Ruiz, who plays Molly.
Things really seem to be coming together. I survived a divorce. My son and I found a nice place in the country and have a great job that I like.
Man, we're filling out this card fast. Molly works at a nondescript office space located in the back of someone's house, and I think they sell bags.
Sully's Emporium, this is Molly. How may I help you?
Someone seemed to have taken a shit in the burger, like someone had put
Travel
feces
notebook.
in the burger itself.
Correct, such as luggage that you carry on plane. That's right.
Suitcase, duffel, back, fanny, Sully's Emporium has it all. After a very busy day of 2 phone calls, Molly and Christine decide to go to lunch.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here and go get something to eat.
Sounds good.
This is when we're properly introduced to the gang, which, just to make it easier, I'm going to be calling the Tunnel Snakes.
Why don't we just grab one of these goddamn goats off these farms?
Let's go.
Hey, Pagan Fury,
And
right?
then we'll sacrifice the goat.
I'm part of the earth. Let's eat the horns of the hoof.
As you can see, this is one rough and tough group of Satan worshippers that talk about eating goats while snorting non-specific drugs in the back of a Duesenberg. We then get introduced to my favorite character of the entire movie.
You got cheddar cheese? I got Swiss. Mine's bacon too.
This is where the Who's Who game gets a little tricky because they say one of the members' names once at the end of the movie and you kind of have to memento your way back through the rest, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Swiss with Bacon is either Goblin or Tweak. Thanks to his unique name and even uniquer head tattoo, I can say that Doug Solzik Doug plays Black, and that leaves Adam Cigar as Cigar. Very creative. Black tells the Tunnel Snakes that he knows a place where they can lay low for the night, and this is when we really get a feel for these characters.
Yeah! Fuck, dude! Dude, man, where are we? Where we at? We're supposed to be hiding out. Where are we? Dude. Take us into the middle of redneck nowhere, Bill. Chill out. Get out of the car. Where the hell are we? Hell, man. Where the hell are we? Dude, where are we at? Man, we're out in the middle of redneck middle of nowhere. What the hell?
While the rest of the Tunnel Snakes occupy their time out front, Black makes his way to a garage and we get confirmation that Ted Fred is Goblin and Mike Tabolt is Tweak. Also, I really want to know what the script said for this scene.
There you go, bitch.
We then get to see a cool car collection that someone's uncle let them film for $50 and a case of natural ice.
Hey, Black man, you didn't tell us that your guy was a collector.
Blackie!
Blackie again.
Yeah!
Sweet baby Jesus, mother of God!
Goblin and Tweak also snort more non-specific drugs using a food stamp card.
If you don't like it, don't do it. Food stamp card.
Yeah!
This is why he's my favorite.
Colombian, it's Colombian flake. From Peru, Lima, Peru. You ready?
We then see this group of people in their mid-30s getting ready to go to bed at 5:30 p.m. and this is what makes guerrilla filmmaking so impactful.
Hey, we'll go get some Twinkies later. It'll be okay.
I said go to bed!
Twinkies!
I swear to God, I'll fucking kick the white ranch. It's fucking bedtime!
We open day 2 at Sully's Non-Specific Emporium where we're introduced to the titular Sully.
Any messages for me today?
I have them right here. You need to call Mr. Johnson back first because he said it was important and you knew what it was about. His number is in your Rolodex in your office.
Okay.
We then get the inciting incident of this movie where Molly gets out of Christine's messy Jetta to walk the rest of the way home, even though the way she walks is along the only road around for miles. Like, it would be different if Christina was at the end of Molly's driveway or outside of her apartment complex, but this setup only makes sense so the plot can happen. And happen it does, as the tunnel snakes pull up on an unsuspecting Molly.
Hey, do you need a ride? I clear a spot off on my face.
While this is happening, we see photographer played by the director himself, Chris Hasenberg, in a subplot that makes no sense if you think about it for even a minute. The tunnel snakes then approach Molly, and while they're making their moves, we see photographer staying true to his name and photographing the whole affair instead of being man who calls police.
Oh, you're in for it now, buddy. I got like 5 fish coming to help. Oh, here they are.
Help! He's hurting me!
Well, maybe you shouldn't have let him on.
As the tunnel snakes are loading Molly into the Duesenberg, we see that some innocent cows had to watch all this happen before cutting to the main attraction of this movie. Well, main attraction sounds bad, but you can tell that this scene was the scene that made this an important movie about important things and not just a bunch of goobers goobering it up.
Damn, he's getting romantic.
We start off day 3 at Sully's nondescript office space where Christina tries her best to read her lines.
She gave me her address. I think I have it somewhere.
She didn't even call for a ride. I've tried calling her a couple times, but all I get is her answering machine and her voicemail on her cell phone.
We then get a really long uncut shot of Christina outside Molly's house where we see a very good boy in the window. Speaking of boys, Christina makes her way into Molly's house and takes her kid.
It's okay, I'm a friend, I work with her. Come on, I'm gonna take you with me. Let's go.
Billy was thinking to himself that he has never seen this person before. He hasn't seen him at his house or at his dad's shop where the stranger said he worked.
I'm just gonna leave this frame up for a second so you can soak it all in. Also, this is Henry Ruiz who plays Ezra, and I'm pretty sure he's Molly's actual kid, so we can check that name off the list. Christina stops on the side of the road to take a leak or some shit, and this gives Black a great opportunity to drive by suspiciously before cutting to the rest of the tunnel snakes.
Look, Ma! I'm on top of the world! Woo! What's going on down there, Mr. Campfire Boy?
I honestly just can't focus on what anyone else is saying when Goblin is on the screen.
Mr. Eagle Scout. Hey, faster. Woo, have a drink. Have a drink for Mom and Pa, huh? Drink for the revolution, huh?
You're not really in a good position to be pouring beer on me, man.
Give me a skateboard. Oh, there we go. Woohoo!
Black is trying to tell the rest of the group that he saw Christina poking around the crime scene, but Goblin just steals the spotlight again.
What'd you get? Did you get any, information from it?
Get any drugs?
Did you get any drugs?
The tunnel snakes decide to find a place to lay low for now, and god damn it, Goblin, there you go again.
Get out of here. Specialize in my vocabulary, distance, articulation from the systematic conversation of the dialectics.
Did you hear what he said, dude? There was a fucking person snooping around that chick the other day. Let's get the fuck out of here.
We then cut to photographer at the scene of the crime photographing, as he does, before stumbling upon Molly.
Dear diary, jackpot.
We then get an extremely shaky, extremely long shot of photographer trying to load Molly into his Ford Taurus.
I'm gonna get you in the hospital, okay?
Catching back up with the tunnel snakes, they pull up to what I can only assume is one of their girlfriend's house. And if I were to continue being a guessing man, I would say that this is Goblin's girlfriend, and she definitely listens to Korn. Also, we can hear Goblin say this, and I'm not sure how they missed that in editing.
Should have tidied up my porch if I knew it was going to be getting filmed.
Hey, what's up? Editor Pimp Turkey here. So, not only did they not miss this in editing, they actually highlighted this in editing. So, this is the scene right here.
Should have tidied up my porch if I knew it was going to be getting filmed.
So, notice how big these waves are for the audio file. Now, if we go back in the scene to when they're actually talking.
No, it's kind of creepy, but it's set back from the road.
So the actual dialogue that's supposed to be conveying the plot in this scene is quieter than the fuck up in this scene. So that leads me to believe that they not only noticed it, but decided to highlight it, which just raises a whole bunch of new questions that I just don't have the time to answer. This is when we get a scene that's only in this movie because someone said, hey, I know a cool spot we could film. And to be fair, this is a pretty cool spot that they filmed at, but it also adds literally nothing to the plot. I mean, we do get to hear my favorite line from Goblin, so it's not all bad, I suppose.
DuckTales, woo!
They are stupid and they can't do taxes.
Basically, they spend 7 whole minutes getting ready for bed at 5:30 p.m. because the tunnel snakes believe in a full 8 hours.
Hey, someone needs to keep... Oh, you got that already. Yeah, when you want to go to sleep, Black, just give me a call. I'll wake up.
Call me on my cellular.
Then they accidentally get a good shot of Black sitting in a chair before Cigar starts to hear spooky noises and they all run out of the house like a bad Scooby-Doo episode.
We're trying to sleep, man. Calm the fuck down.
Holy shit! I gotta go!
We also get to see some very emotional acting from the tunnel snakes when they're in the car waiting for Black.
Funny, knock it off.
Dude, why are you just fucking walking, man?
I'm totally fucking serious right now!
We open day 4 in a hospital where we can check off 2 more names. We have Seamus O'Carey as Detective Rob O'Kelly and Edward Reyes as Detective Eddie Corleone. And Edward is probably the best actor in this movie.
Here I am, stuck as a cop. I kind of feel obligated.
You got shot, detective?
No, my dad, the one person that got me into being a cop. He talked me into it. I never wanted to be.
I'm sorry, it must be the alcohol.
So
The detectives are about to interview Molly, and you can really tell that there was no second takes with this scene.
you seem tense.
I am. I think we might have something.
We also get introduced to Nurse, who's played by Cosette Landon, who I can only assume is an actual nurse based on the way she fills out those scrubs. Also, whose grandma is this? The detectives try to interview Molly, but only learn that she has a son, which seems like something they should have already known.
That's my son.
You have a son?
Yeah, Ezra.
We'll see what we can find out.
Also, completely unrelated to this movie, but Detective O'Kelly looks like a guy that used to sell me weed when I was a freshman. We then cut to who I think is Zach Kleffner playing journalist, reviewing the tape from photographer. I mean, unless there was a big gap in filming, I'm pretty sure that these are 2 different characters, but it's never established how journalist got the file from photographer, and journalist's room looks more like what I would expect from photographer. But then we see someone that looks more like photographer emailing the video to some old dude, which is something I would expect journalists to do. Unless who we just saw was Lee Burgess playing father's friend, which just raises more questions. I think what we're supposed to take away from this is that there was a photographer nearby who snagged a video of the assault and later Molly, then sent the film off to a journalist friend who published a story on it that father's friend saw and proceeded to forward to Fergus O'Fay, who plays father. I've watched this movie about 5 times and that's the best I could come up with. Hey, what's up? Editor Pimp Turkey back again, and while editing this part of the video, I realized that I was wrong. So, photographer was the guy that found Molly and loaded her into his Taurus, but he wasn't the guy at the cemetery. Journalist was the one at the cemetery that filmed Molly getting gang raped instead of trying to help. I guess that also means that instead of filing a police report, journalist decided to publish an article. Anyway, after Fergus gets the email, we see him doing his best Jonathan Wick before leaving. Catching back up with Christine and Molly, we see that Christine really needs to fix her car door, and they used to have a cat door on the garage door. The duo decide to keep what happened a secret from Ezra, and Molly lays down to take a nap that gets interrupted by plot-relevant flashbacks.
Are you sure it wasn't all evil and grainy and black and white? Think about it.
We can also cross off Brent Shetler as young father. Flashback over, we catch up with the detectives analyzing the crime scene.
Yeah, it looks like they found her here. Obviously, alcohol was present. I don't see a whole lot else to go on. I think they've already cleared it out.
No, there's got to be something more.
Oh, you think so?
Looks like there was a struggle. There's got to be a clue. something that leads up to these bastards.
Detective O'Kelly declares this as a waste of time and tells Detective Corleone that these men are just the best at what they do.
Never anything left behind. These guys, with whatever their problems are, they're at least thorough.
And Detective Corleone starts victim blaming.
There's just gotta be, it doesn't work out. First she said there was 3 guys, then she said there was 4. It could have been two others in a different place, in a totally different state.
We then open up day 5 with the skating montage because a couple of the actors knew how to do a kickflip and they really wanted to show everyone else that they could do one. I mean, literally, this scene lasts for 5 minutes and ends with Black going, well, looks like we need a place to lay low. We then get to a scene that was in the trailer, and for good reason.
You know where Molly is?
Don't ever call her again. Next time you...
No, please don't hang up.
Neil Breen, eat your heart out.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
Also, you can tell that this is a true blue boomer by the way he holds his flip phone by the belt clip. Even though Fergus seems a bit directionless in this scene, we at least know what he doesn't want.
I don't want to know where you live, and I don't want to hurt you or kill you. I just need to get some information on Molly. I am your father.
No. My parents are still alive.
No, they're not your parents.
Also, who responds with someone saying, I'm your father with, no, my parents are still alive? Like, if they were dead, would you reconsider? You know, my father did always say he was immortal, but after he took all those animal tranquilizers and went on that Christmas rampage, he did die, so maybe he wasn't my real father. We also learned that Molly and Christine are sisters, and isn't it mighty convenient that they not only live in the same town, but also work together and have built a good enough relationship where Christine is the one who gets Molly's kids and picks her up from the hospital? Like, what would have happened if Christine was a little slut that took Molly's boyfriend in high school and she never forgave her for it? Or if Molly very publicly shit her pants to the brim and the whole town knew her as the girl who shit herself at Whole Foods? Back to the movie, Fergus is confused on where his character is going, so Christina gives him some directions.
Where am I?
Also, the way Fergus is describing how he looks and what he's driving, you can tell that he's gotten a few Craigslist hookers before.
8 miles, 10 miles? Yeah, that's fine. I'll meet you at the restaurant in a half hour or so. I have a white Dodge truck, kind of gray with a gray beard, so you know who's pulling up. Okay, thank you for doing this. Just please give me a chance to talk with you. Okay, bye.
Christine tells Molly that she's off to meet someone, and the only reason I'm bringing this scene up is because the living room looks straight out of The Sims 3. Christine returns with Fergus, and he introduces himself to Molly.
I know there's probably a lot of questions. I don't really know where to begin.
Fergus then proceeds to describe his life story, and it ends with him pulling out his one piece of evidence he has that he's their father.
What kind of proof do you have that you're our father?
Well, don't have anything like birth certificates or anything anymore, but maybe one of you guys have seen this picture.
No. All right. Well, worth a shot.
Okay, so to avoid this video being too long, I'm just gonna say that this is incredibly stupid. No, actually, it's my channel. I'm gonna make the time. How fucking stupid is this? Hey, I don't have any birth certificates or anything, but look at this sick-ass Kodak I keep in my wallet. No, I'm definitely your real father and not some crazy ex-lover of your mother's that was jealous at her previous life, so I wanted to take it over by killing your father and taking his place and raising you. Definitely not that. Definitely not a 1 hour photo situation where I worked at Walgreens developing photos before becoming obsessed with a family, making copies of all their photos and hanging them up in a beautiful Minds room. Definitely not a Red Dragon situation where I edit family videos and then use said videos to then break into their house and kill them while they're asleep. Definitely not just some random photo of 2 kids that could be anyone because everybody looks the same when they're 2 years old. Do I need to go on? Molly then gives my review of this movie.
It's just a lot to take in right now.
Fergus tells the girls that he has a motel room down the road if they want to talk things over before making his exit. We come back to day 6 where we see Molly eyeing up some ketchup at the corner store. This is until Detective Corleone jump scares the shit out of Molly and then stumbles through his lines.
So you have a taste for gummy candy?
my son, he really likes those.
Blame it on the son.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
We also get to hear how the case is coming along.
This case is quite deep. We're quite into it now, and at this point, I think we're just waiting for something else. Just trying to connect those pieces together.
As Molly is leaving the store, we get hit with a blast from the past when we see a Sobe fridge.
Tastes great.
Yeah.
Feels even better. Wow.
What's up, player? Hey, let me show you this.
We also get an incredibly long shot of Molly pulling out before being followed by the tunnel snakes Duesenberg. This is when we're treated to a car chase that takes place on a straight road in the middle of nowhere at the dangerous speed of 45 miles an hour.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man.
Please heed my warning. You're young, your brain's still.
Molly calls Detective Corleone and he lets her know that he was already following her before telling Molly to stay on the line and then immediately hanging up the phone.
I'm right here on the line.
As it turns out, the tunnel snakes might actually worship Satan because they just disappear and we see Detective Corleone pulling up on Molly, who's pulled over on the side of the road. You know, the #1 strategy for a car chase, pulling over on the side of the road. Detective Corleone then suggests to Molly that they should get some drinks, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but Detective Corleone and Molly's relationship seems a little inappropriate.
I think you're stalking me.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Well, no, not really. I told you I was gonna look out for you.
So, if you didn't know, they make silicone ice cubes for movies and TV. Now, you may be thinking, why does that matter? Well, silicone ice cubes look like ice cubes but are silent. And now you're probably thinking, well, how loud is ice anyway? And to you, I present this scene, which almost reads like an advert for silicone ice.
I meant a lot of investigation to go through, but the clues, it all points there, and I'm just on it. I just want to help you out.
Also, this lady in the back definitely is just a cook at the bar and came out to see what all the Hollywood hubbub was about. Molly then goes on about some ring that she got from her grandma, and you think it's gonna go somewhere or come back into play later, but it never does. Opening up day 7, we see Fergus meeting with his grandson, and this scene needs no words.
Honey, I'd like you to meet your grandpa.
Are you my grandpa?
Yes, I am.
Billy was thinking to himself that he has never seen this person before.
Also, as far as child actors go, I've seen worse.
What do you like to do?
Monster trucks.
Well, can you tell me something about monster trucks?
Monster trucks are really loud and they go really fast. Now this is pod racing.
The detectives decide to go check out one last place, and when they pull up, they see the Duesenberg, and this is probably the most action we get in this movie. All of the tunnel snakes are sleeping in the Duesenberg except for Black, who's taking Instagram photos at the dock, so the detectives get the drop on the gang of sleepy boys.
Get your hands behind your head. Hit. Do not move.
Hey man, I know my rights!
Hearing all the commotion, Black does his best big boy run to see what's up, and we get to see the United States justice system at work.
What the hell are you looking at me, asshole? What are you doing? Shit, take it easy, man.
Detective Corleone even gives Tweak a mean armpit kick.
Who you calling a pig, asshole?
We open day 8 at the local motel where the desk lady is just dolled up for the occasion, and I believe journalist is there to drop off the tape to Detective Corleone, and this is just another can of worms. If Father's friend could forward the article to Father, that means it's been posted somewhere and is public information, but the two people who are supposed to be solving this case just missed the news article about their victim with video evidence of the attackers, or are we supposed to believe that this article isn't posted yet and all of these people just have really good connections in the media? Honestly, I'm leaning more towards Detective Corleone just being a shit detective.
It could have been two others in a different place in a totally different state. I'm sorry, it must be the alcohol. Watch the potholes right there. Well, we need to get a drink. That's what we need to do. We just had a trial Monday. They're not allowed to go out. They're not free. You have some? There's something I can't put my finger on.
I think you're stalking me.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. So, how have you been? There's a turn up here. Take it easy.
I know
It's got gravel in it.
Everything has gravel in it.
Well, hurry up.
We can finally get a bingo on our sheet as we see Mike Hamill, who's playing bailiff, sitting at the bar, very loudly complaining about his job as a bailiff.
Man, that stupid jail. All everybody does is whine and moan and gripe about everything that goes on in there.
Black, seeing an opportunity to spring his boys out of the stony lonesome, buys the bailiff a drink.
Buy a shot? Why would you want to do that? It sounds like you're having a rough day.
After hearing the frustrations the bailiff has with bailiffing, Black offers to pay handsomely if bailiff were to help the tunnel snakes escape. And just wait until you hear how much he's offering.
You'd probably come up with $700 or $800 each. You know, I could do $700 a piece on that. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, doing some quick math, 700 times 3 is 2,100. Even adjusting for inflation, that comes out to a grand total of $3,138.97. Now, the charge for helping someone escape is up to 5 years, so let's take that times 3 and you get up to 15 years, which up to doesn't always mean that's what you're gonna get. But since this guy is a law enforcement officer, I don't think they would really go easy on him, so he would most likely get 10 years. Now, according to this, the average annual income for bailiffs in 2009 was just over $40,000 a year. Even the average fast food worker in 2009 had an annual income of just over $18,000 a year, which is significantly less than $40,000, but leagues ahead of the just over $3,000 for 10 years. Of course, he could have gotten a job in prison where he would have made a whopping 93 cents a day, and if you were wondering, that would come out to just over $3,000 after 10 years. But that's if they didn't charge him for being imprisoned, which is an actual thing, I shit you not. I know that was a bit of a tangent, but hopefully you can see just how stupid this bailiff is, and maybe you learned something along the way. With the deal sealed, we transition into day 9 at a courtroom with some of the most reverb I have ever heard. I'm just now discovering that there are more cast members we need to cross off the list, so I'm just gonna rapid fire a few. Amber Lynn Grace Ruiz, who plays young Molly, Jerry Shiner as defense attorney, Rob Brower as prosecuting attorney, John Carter as judge, Dustin Weshoff as Molly's boss. Also, we have Gonzo Kitty as Gonzo, and if I were to just take a guess, I would say that Gonzo is the lady who runs the motel. The name just kinda fits. Sam Porritt as jail guard, and finally Stefan Mohan as helpful girl. Now, this one is tricky because I thought this was Christine, but I want to say helpful girl is the one that grabs Ezra, and Christine is the one taking a piss by the side of the road. Back to the movie, prosecutor gives his opening statement, and we get to hear some lore about the tunnel snakes.
The state is prepared to prove that the 3 defendants here today are part of a vicious gang that have been terrorizing the small towns of the Pacific Northwest for over 2 years.
Detective Corleone then ruins the whole trial by presenting inadmissible evidence in the form of a DVD the journalist burned for him before actually making a good legal point which caught me off guard.
I'd also like to emphasize that because of the suspects have no permanent residence, they should not be allowed bail.
The prosecutor also brings up how they have a matching set of prints to the ones collected on the car and at the crime scene, and it reinforces my theory that Detective Corleone is just one of the worst detectives of all time. We then get to hear the defense attorney make his statement, and to be fair, I don't even think Johnny Cochran could win this case, but we get to see him try his best to defend these serial rapists.
It seems to me that the defendants are being railroaded by an overzealous and vindictive detective hoping to get a conviction regardless of the outcome or who it might affect.
After getting to see where all the editing budget went, we get to hear the verdict of the state of Washington against the Tunnel Snakes.
I feel that there's sufficient grounds to set a trial date and remand the defendants to jail without bail.
With the bailiff paid his handsome $3,000, the Tunnel Snakes initiate their escape.
All right, guys, your buddy is getting you guys out of here. You paid me to do this.
After walking out of the courthouse in the most suspicious way possible, we cut to see the detectives hard at work.
Thanks for helping me get these guys out of my hair and get them out of this town.
Okay, no problem.
You know, that's all we need.
Right.
So.
By the way, I think it's your turn. Pay the tab.
While the detectives are discussing the case, we cut to see Drunk 1 and Drunk 2 shamelessly promoting the director's other movie.
You know what my favorite movie was?
What?
That Curse of Blanchard Hill. Wasn't that a killer? I mean, really.
And with this, we've gotten a bingo for real this time. We see Detective Corleone chilling in his hotel room until he gets a call about the Tunnel Snakes' escape.
We just had a trial for them. They're not allowed to go out. They're not free.
While this is happening, we see Molly leaving a note on the door, and this is when the movie starts to pick up. Speaking about pickups, we see that Molly and Christine are driving Fergus's truck, and I want you to remember this, it'll be important later. While Molly and Christine are going into the woods, we see that Cigar is at Molly's house, and I don't think he's wanting to talk about our Lord and Savior. This is when we get to see one of the best sequences of events, rivaled only by Rube Goldberg himself.
Grandpa, what's going on?
What was the point of all that? All it does is shoot you. It doesn't make breakfast at all.
It's like they had a really solid 4 to 5 scenes and then just farted their way through the rest of this movie. Cigar notices the note Molly left, and this leads the Tunnel Snakes right to her, and this is another thing that falls apart if you think about it for more than a second. Like, why did Fergus leave the note on the door? I mean, it's not like he just got home and was unloading groceries. The man was cooking up eggs. You could have just had the note on the counter, which would have allowed you to do the same thing and would have actually made sense. Molly and Christine decide to go for a walk after their picnic, and Molly points out Chekhov's knife.
Christina? You plan on stabbing a salmon out there or something?
It was my dad's knife, and I'm sick of us being unprotected.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Detective Corleone and O'Kelly stumble upon the murder scene, and they also use the note that Molly left to find out where she is.
O'Kelly!
Yeah.
Look what I found! You know where that's at?
I know where that's at. Let's go. Let's go.
We then get intense music as the Tunnel Snakes pull up, and Tweak alongside Goblin go to take care of Molly. When the snakes reach Molly and Christine, we get to see more of Goblin being Goblin before Christine uses Chekhov's knife to slash and stab Tweak. Molly uses this commotion to grab the gun and shoot Tweak as well as Goblin. Also, a very small critique here, but I want you to notice how Molly's gun is empty. After having to wait too long, Cigar decides that he'll go and take care of Molly, and we see the detectives making their way to the campgrounds. This is when we learn that Detective Corleone's wife was a victim of the tunnel snakes, and Detective O'Kelly argues with him like a married couple.
Why wouldn't you tell me something like that?
Because it's not the kind of things that you go out telling everybody, going sentimental.
I'm supposed to be your partner here.
Catching back up with Molly, we see her and Christine hiding under a bridge as Cigar shows up and strikes a pose. I mean, except for the tube you can see, this is a pretty good practical effect. This is when we get to see my second favorite scene of the entire movie.
Oh, shit. You fucking asshole! You left me for dead! You almost left my son without a mother! Fuck you! What will you learn? What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
Molly goes in to finish the job before running away, and we see that Black is headed in to see what's up. So, do you remember when I said to keep in mind that Molly is driving Fergus's truck because it would be important later? Molly and Christine are driving Fergus's truck, and I want you to remember this, it'll be important later. Do you think that Molly will A, try to put the truck in reverse before Black figures out how to park? B, ram Black's Chevelle with the back of Fergus's truck? C, start honking the horn to try to get the attention of anyone nearby? Or D, literally nothing? If you guess D, then you're right, because Christine gets bitch slapped and Molly gets ripped out of the car.
Get off the court, bitch!
Didn't even think to lock the doors, did you, Molly?
You complete fucking moron!
This is when the detectives finally show up, and this scene is just great. First, we have Black being able to shoot Detective O'Kelly and not be immediately lit up.
Put it down! O'Kelly, you okay? You okay back there?
Then we have the fake out surrender followed by a one-liner.
Let her go! This is for my wife, asshole!
With the day saved, Detective Corleone tries to get his dick wet, and Detective O'Kelly delivers a line straight out of Full House. The movie isn't over, however, because that one dude's uncle who let them film the cars from earlier had a friend that would let them film his car for a case of Keystone, so we get a funeral scene accompanied by a voiceover from Molly.
The dark measures that it took to remove the horror of those men from my life, and the world cannot just be walked away from.
He said it! He said it!
And with that, this movie is over.
I am Molly, and today I begin the rest of my life.
What an absolute trip. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that cares about this movie in 2025, but after watching this video, I hope that I've been able to convince you to rent it on Prime and watch it at least once. Like, this movie with some friends and accoutrements of your choice is a recipe for a good evening.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Oh.
I know a place.
You got cheddar cheese? I got Swiss. Mine's bacon too.
If you want to see more of me, you should check out the podcast I co-host with Arnie King called Henny for Your Thoughts. We upload new episodes every 2 weeks. Follow me on Instagram if you want behind the scenes updates, and follow me on Patreon if you want to show your support. I'm not sure what my next video will be over, but until next time, later.